Okay, the way I cut my little grooves is I do a 3-pass process. That way I don't rip anything out or tear it out. This is my first pass, and I just set my router to this nifty little adapter. I can just twist it, and then I push it down and it goes down to the next level. The final level is this one right here, and that's how I cut my grooves. As you can see, I just made my second pass, and the channel is a little bit deeper. Next, I'm going to set my depth gauge right here and go down the final pass. Okay, my shelves are 14-inch shelves, and I'm going to mark the next 14 inches right here. Okay, I have cut the grooves for the bookshelves, and I have both the left and right sides that support the bookshelves. And what I'm going to do now is cut the shelves and then assemble the bookshelf using glue and a nail gun. And I'll show you how that's done in just a minute. All right, here are my shelves. I have 4 shelves. Actually, you only will see 3 of them. One is the top. I've drawn a line exactly where I needed to, and the length of the shelf, I've compensated for the thickness of this. Okay, so when you do it, just make sure that you get all your measurements correctly. As you can see here, I'm about to cut them, and I'll be cutting them on my saw over there. Okay, I've cut the shelves, and now I'm sanding, getting a nice smooth top, clean up these little rough edges. These 2 have been sanded, and the next part is, after I sand this, is going to be assembly. Okay, as you can see, I'm adding the back to the bookshelves, and what I'm doing is, because this is wider than 4 feet, I had to cut it lengthwise, so it took 3 sheets to do this. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the first panel on, and I'm nailing it, and then I'll put the next strip on right here, and get that ready to go. As you can see, the one that I have over here is complete, and you can see how that looks. And here's the front. There you go. Okay, I've completed adding the back to the bookshelf, and now what I'm going to be doing is creating the face frame that covers all of this up. I've laid out my pieces right here, and I've marked them where they need to be cut, and now I'm going to be cutting them on my saw. Alright, so what I've done, I'm building the face frame, and I decided to use a different technique. I'm actually nailing it to the boards rather than using like a Craig jig or just simple glue. I'm using a nail gun, and I'm just basically going in and I'm just putting a nail straight in and applying glue first before I do that. I put this block in to give this top face frame support, as I'm going to be adding the crown molding to the top, and as you can see here, it's going to put a lot of pressure and weight on that, and I just needed something to support it. And as you see, when I add this, this is a little bit thicker of a face frame for the top, and that's just to compensate for the crown molding sitting on top of it. When it's all said and done, it'll have the same width as this. All right, and as you can see, I've added all of that, and now I just have to do some sanding, and I have to do some wood putty, and of course add the crown molding. Okay, this is a little technique that I use to create and stiffen this backboard right here. I nailed on a support on the back, and I've glued it, and I put these little braces on so it doesn't hurt the wood as my clamps are gripping it. And it also will make the glue bond a little stronger. So there you go. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, the face frame is on. I just need to do some sanding and some wood putty, and then I'll have to put the crown molding on the top right there. But for now, it's almost done. And you can kind of see what the rough looks like. Okay, so it's really cold outside, so I had to bring the bookshelves to the basement. I created this little area down here, hung up some plastic. I feel like I'm killing bookshelves down here. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, what I'm doing is I'm spray painting them, and that's to keep the fumes out. As you can see here, I'm rolling and spraying the bookshelves, and you can kind of see where they're coming. They're coming together. I'm going to tilt it up and do the final touches on it, and it will be ready to go. painted and installed the bookcases, and now I have to do some final caulking, put this in, and get it all nice and clean. As you can see, the gap here gets pretty wide because of the inconsistency of the drywall. So what I did is I have some product, and I'll show you what that is that I'm going to use to help fill that gap before I add caulk. Okay, this is a product called rope caulk. It's really helpful when you have large gaps. You can use it to cover them or fill them before you caulk. This is what the product looks like. It's really, flexible. It has some feeling around it. It's like caulk in a sense. It's moldable. So what I can do is I can take a strip here, and I'm gonna just put it in my fingers and kind of just put it inside the cracks and fill those, and then I'll caulk around it. You can see I'm installing the rope caulk. It's kind of like putty. You just kind of push it in place. I've had it folded up on itself to kind of get thick enough, and then I stripped it down and made it thinner as I kept going. I have a little bit more to do, but I just want to show you kind of how this product works.